Hello friends, I'm Dr. Vivek and today we are going to discuss literary criticism part, a very important part. Two parts are important, literary theories and criticism. So today I'm going to discuss literary criticism part and I'll start this criticism part uh, with the Greek writers. The first of them is uh, Plato. So let's start with this criticism part with Plato. Plato is a very important writer as far as criticism is concerned, and Plato's theory of ideas is very important. That theory of ideas, Plato's theory of ideas, we have to understand, and that is very important as far as the criticism is concerned. Theory of ideas, Plato's theory of ideas uh, mm, mm, is described in in his book The Republic, very important book of Plato, in which he talks about his theory of ideas and uh, mm, the role of state and all this. Plato believes that things are first conceived as ideas before they take a practical shape as things. Plato theory of ideas says that uh, every object has an idea, and uh, all every object is a copy of that idea. So idea is supreme. Uh, for Plato, ideas are ultimate reality. For Plato, it's very important. The ideas are ultimate reality. The ideas of anything is original pattern and things are its copy. So here, every object, everything, whatever we have, like pen, pencil, fan, every object has a copy, has is every object is a copy of the original copy, that is ideas. And since art and literature produces concrete things, so as are imitation of a copy and thus twice removed from reality. Here it's very important why it's Plato says it's literature and art is twice removed from reality, because see, every object has an idea. The original idea, it's a copy of the idea. uh, and Like fan, for example, we take fan is a copy of the original idea. And if in literature fan is described, then it becomes twice removed from reality. Means because it's a copy of the original idea of the fan, and then in literature or art it is described, then it becomes uh, mm, uh, mm, uh, that means from the original idea it's twice removed, because from the original idea we are taking it, and so it becomes twice removed from reality, so it cannot be original. What Plato says, literature, art is not original according to Plato. Plato attacked poetry on the following grounds. Very, very important. Plato attacks poetry on the following ground. First ground is poetic inspiration. According to Plato, poetry is not the result of deep thought, but it's a result of poetic inspiration. It's not, according to Plato, poetry is not is a result of deep thoughts, but it's just a result of poetic inspiration. Poet is suddenly a poet is suddenly inspired by muse, and the poet gets into frenzy and starts singing. Such a sudden outburst cannot be a substitute for truths based on reason. So poetic truth cannot take the place of philosophical truth. So poetry is not accepted because it's a result of poetic frenzy. So, according to Plato, it's not acceptable. Second ground of not accepting poetry, according to Plato, is the emotional appeal of poetry. Plato says poetry, being a result of poetic inspiration, it affects our heart in place of affecting the intellectuals. So it affects our heart, not the intellect, not the reason. Plato argues that too much of wallowing or indulging in emotions makes us a servant of emotions in place of master of them. We are through this emotions, through this poetry, we are not able to master uh, the uh, the intellect. We It tries to become the servant of emotions, so it cannot be supreme, it cannot be acceptable according to Plato. Third argument of Plato is its non-moral character. Plato criticizes poetry for its lack of concern with morality. According to Plato, poetry doesn't have morality. It doesn't give moral. Poetry treats virtue and vices like. It is often seen in poetry that evil flourishes and virtuous characters suffer. In poetry, we see that evil character flourishes and virtuous character suffer. Poetry also displays objectionable portraits of gods and heroes. It shows gods as unjust or revengeful or guilty of other vices. Heroes are often portrayed as the servants of virtuous passions. So Plato believes that literature corrupts citizens and stated and advocated a ban on all poetry except hymns and eulogies. Eulogies means praise in hymns, religious songs. So, except these, Plato advocates a ban on poetry. Fourth argument of Plato against poetry is appeal to baser instincts. Plato argues that comedy renders imitation of thunder, beastly cries, and tragedy imitates quarrels and lamentation. And all this quarrels and lamentation arouse baser instincts in audience and thus spoils discipline in society. So when these it instigates this, according to Plato, this comedy and the tragedies, it arouses quarrels and lamentations in the heart of the audience and thus spoils discipline in society, according to Plato. So, baser instincts is the fourth argument of Plato. Fifth argument of Plato is effects of impersonation. What is this effects of impersonation? It says, according to Plato, Plato believes that drama sometimes reacts unfavorably to actors. He says that by constantly impersonating evil characters like coward, knaves, and criminals, these actors allow evil qualities. Means when in drama in drama the characters when they plays a role of coward knaves, uh, these characters comes in these qualities, these traits comes to the in the character, in the person's personality, in character's personality. So it becomes these qualities, these bad qualities comes in personation of the character, and that is not good. Enter their own nature, so the character of these actors are degraded. However, the conceits of good is also right. Means other way, it's also right. But yes, Plato says that because of impersonation, because of acting, these these traits, bad traits, these bad qualities comes in the character's personality, so they become corrupt. So this for the literary part, Plato's theory of idea and the criticism, why he criticizes, why he advocates the ban on poetry is very important. So you work on this, try to understand Plato in reference to criticism. Uh, Thank you so much for listening. Thanks.